Wickedness has to be dealt with forcefully, with brute power. That's the sentiment which has been echoed by the RSS chief, Mohan in an interview to the organizer. On this special episode on the Squirrels.in, we'll decipher exactly what is it that is being attempted to be stated by the RSS boss. Honestly, if you look at it, when the RSS chief says wickedness of the neighbors has to be dealt with forcefully by power, who is he really alluding to? Operation Sindoor, for all practical purposes, has been a humongous success for India. We hit out at multiple terror targets in Pakistan, and we've come back with flying colors, irrespective of what the Pakistani side wants to say. So is Mr. Bhagwat really reading out the new rule book on behalf of the Indian state? Or is Mr. Bhagwat giving a message to other, let's say, equally troublesome neighbors, whether it is Nepal, Bangladesh, and the big C, China? So far, when it has come to taking positions against Pakistan, the RSS has been very, very belligerent. Pak-occupied Kashmir should be amalgamated with India is a view which has been held by the RSS for a very, very long time. But whenever it has come to questions, allegations about Indian territory being taken over by the Chinese, they've been far more circumspect. Maybe one reason behind that is the might of the Chinese economy. So when it comes to Pakistan, wickedness of the neighbors must be dealt with forcefully with power. When it comes to China, let's deal with issues related to China more from the point of view of strengthening of economic ties. That's how the RSS has tried to draw a distinction between Pakistan and China. So in this context, what happens to those stories of a rift which existed between the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the RSS chief? What happens to that statement which was made by the RSS chief in the immediate aftermath of the Lok Sabha election results, where the BJP got up to 240 Lok Sabha seats, when the RSS chief went to the extent of saying individuals start looking at themselves like God, as Mahapurush? And many thought that this was a jibe which was being leveled against the kind of functioning that the BJP had gotten itself used to. And don't forget that statement which was made by the BJP president JP Nadda as well, who'd gone on to say that now the Bharatiya Janata Party was big enough to be completely on its own while the RSS could continue to do its own social work. Of course, a lot of water has flown under the bridge since then. We've had election results in the very difficult states like Haryana and Maharashtra, where the RSS's role has been applauded and acknowledged by one and all. We've seen how the Prime Minister went to the extent of going to the RSS headquarters in Nagpur, which was a rare moment in his entire tenure as Prime Minister. For him to go there to hold deliberations with the RSS chief, the significance of that meeting was not lost on anyone. Truth be told, there have been many instances when the RSS and the BJP have not seen eye to eye with each other. Let's take you back. Since the 1950s, the RSS and the BJP have often disagreed with each other on matters of policy, if not ideology, particularly when it has come to nationalism and Hindutva. To what extent do you practice Hindutva in a kind of a political environment where Hindutva often was used by political opponents of the BJP to target the BJP, to push the BJP into a corner? If you look at the relationship of the BJP with small traders, for instance, bodies like the Swadeshi Jagran Manch have often criticized the BJP of being too pro-big business, not looking after the interests of smaller businesses. It was largely due to the intervention of the RSS, due to consistent statements, almost like a check and balance role, which was being performed by the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, which forced even Narendra Modi's establishment to go back. Not for the first time. In Atal Bihari Vajpayee's tenure as Prime Minister between 1999 and 2004, repeated interruptions in policy making took place because of Swadeshi Jagran Manch. Now, if you look at the agreement side, issues such as Ayodhya, Should there be a Ram temple in Ayodhya or not? On these issues of ideology, the RSS and BJP have been in complete sync with each other. So when the RSS boss again starts talking about using power to settle your wicked neighbors, it will obviously make you sit up and take notice. The question is, who's leading whom here? Do we say that the BJP is still looking towards the RSS for confirmation on certain steps, on certain decisions that it is taking? Operation Sindoor clearly was an exception. But let's say in Parliament tomorrow, if again this question is raised, what are we doing with the Chinese? What are we doing with Turkey? Are we now going to see the RSS and BJP both adopt an equally belligerent stand? Or are we going to see the RSS play the role of that body which is going to pour some cold water perhaps over hot temperatures? The RSS chief, Mr. Bhagwat, is a very pragmatic person. He is known to be someone who never compromises on ideological positions, but at the same time knows a thing or two about how to crack the whip when it really needs to be done. So while he is applauding the BJP, while he is on side of the BJP, he is on side of the Prime Minister when it comes to Operation Sindoor, other critical parts, whether it is organizational changes within the party, who should be the next BJP president, how should the future of the BJP be determined, say, over the next 5 to 10 years, Mr. Bhagwat has certain clear-cut positions. How does he manage to bring these positions down on the same page as a Modi-led BJP is something which will be very, very interesting to see. And that vision and that approach is what will tell us the real intent behind Mr. Bhagwat's statement: punish wicked neighbors with power, deal with wicked neighbors with absolute force. That's it then on this edition on the Squirrels.in. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on our X platform as well as on our Instagram handle.